Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to 7 Days of Daily Growth with Nay. I hope you guys are doing well. It's Tuesday's word of the day, and I'm going to hop right in it. So today's word for today is learn. So to learn means to gain knowledge or understanding of or skill in by study, instruction, or experience. I love experience because most people don't learn through life. We go through life and we have different experiences, and that's how you learn. But most people don't catch on to that most of the time. That everything happens for a reason. You were meant to learn something, whether good or bad. So I love the experience. Because at first I was like, study instruction, but then I was like, experience, that's the one. This is why it fits for my channel. Number 2, to come to realize. 3, to come to know. So I got 3 definitions and then 2 conversational pieces. So conversational piece number 1, what are a few things that you have learned in general that has helped you along the journey of healing and growth? So I wrote little things down. So one thing I've learned on, this journey of healing and growing, and trying to be a better person and trying to do better in my life and grow healthier in my life, whatever that looks like for Lanasia, is that you can't care what people think. You can't care how you're perceived, how you're looked at, how people look at you. You can't care about opinions. You cannot forget them. That's the biggest thing that I learned, especially when I started to make certain changes. And we are in a world, we're in a generation now where technology is a big thing, social media is a big thing. And social media was just really getting started when I was a teen. So now it's definitely developed a lot. And so I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be one of the people that be like, oh, social media this, social media that. You gotta know how to use it, you gotta know how to work it, you gotta be smart about it. I'm not even gonna cap. And so when it comes to social media, I just use my brain. I ain't even gonna lie. It is what it is. It's the way I see social media. And most people not gonna understand the way I see stuff. But it is what it is, and I love social media. I'm not saying it like, oh, I'm so obsessed or this or that. No, I'm gonna tell you why I love social media, because it's entertainment, it's funny. When it comes to stuff like the news and I don't watch regular news, and I don't care for all the celebrity news that comes on social media. If I see something, I'm like, oh, word, crazy. I might give my opinion depending on how I feel, if that's up to me. That's my free choice. But other than that, I use it for what it was meant to be used for. And that goes for all my social media. I don't feel like I do too much. I don't feel like I do too... It's not a job. I don't get paid to be up there. But when I do use it, I like to use it. It's what it's for. It's mine. You know what I'm saying? So, I realized that people watch you more than you think. People look at you more than you think. And so when it came to me wanting to make a change and wanting to grow, I knew that people would see who they used to know. Like, it's people that ain't seen me in years. I ain't seen you since I was in middle school, high school. Shoot, a baby, a kid. And people probably telling people, oh, I know her. You don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through, what I have to deal with, Because for me, I'm very reserved. People might think what they want and probably think what they know, whatever, that's on you. I don't care. And, I had to get to that place, especially with me loving to be on social media. I'm not going to lie. Only thing I really don't be messing with is Instagram and TikTok. Seriously. I don't have nothing against social media. People be flexing. Like, a lot of people be like, oh, I don't do this, I don't say too much, but be watching. You still up there. You might as well say, hey, you know what I'm saying? So, for me, a part of this growth and just changing, especially with me being vocal about it and putting it out there, I had to realize that people gonna think what they want to think about me, but people don't really know what I've been through. People don't really know me. They don't know what it's like to be Lanasia. So I knew that when I started to really heal and grow from, who I used to be, going into my next phase into life, I know that I might be looked at a certain way, even from family members. Even when we take it off of social media, I know I'm changing and people see it in my family, but Everything I do is for a reason. That's one thing about me. I don't do nothing for no reason. And I might talk to y'all about that one day. But I don't do nothing for no reason. Like, I'm a very calculated person. You know, very determined. You know, I see something, I know what I want. I know what I want to go after. So, it's just that it's definitely made me realize that, hey, if that's how they see you, that's how they see you. Long as you know who you are and you know what you do, that's all that matters. Because a lot of people have this image. They uphold this image and they got to play that role all their life. And that sucks because they don't really be who they are. Now you got to uphold this image when that ain't really you. And I'm not saying it ain't really you, but it's a part of who you are because you're in that role. But people only see you for this one thing, so that's all they expect of you. And that's all you give. And that shouldn't be the way you live. You shouldn't live the way somebody else expects you to live. Be who you are, whatever that looks like for you. You can't think about what people think about you. Do they get paid to think? No. So, hey, they ain't making no money. They living rent free. They ain't making no money thinking about you. But they still do it. So what? I can see if you was making some money. You don't get nothing out of thinking about somebody else and what they doing and what they look like, how much money they got and what they wearing. You don't get paid to think about stuff like that, so why care? Why care about the next man? And sometimes, you know, I realize when you say man, that means man and woman because human. So why? So I had to learn, especially on this journey with me making changes, especially positive ones, me being more happy, me stepping into my light and being who I really am, you know, just trying to be more of a outgoing person and just really trying to get into that side of my personality because it's there. I just don't let people see it. Is that, you know, I can't care if somebody say, oh, she ain't used to act like that. Yeah, because I had a lot going on. But, you know, if you was really a friend or really a family member, you would know that because you would have been there. You would have been asking, you know. So you see the good side. Most people are seeing the side that I'm uncovering, that I put layers on for so long. So, you know, I had to realize, forget it. They gonna think what they want to think. They gonna say what they want to say. And look, I know my eye on the prize, and I can't care about what other people think about me because I got somewhere to be. I got somewhere to go. I got something to accomplish. A couple of things actually. So if you think I'm this, you think I'm that. Hey, that's on you. You shouldn't be thinking about me anyway. You gotta want better for yourself as bad as you want to keep breathing. I know I was watching something motivational and it was saying you gotta want it as bad as you breathe, and I realized that if I want better, if I really want to go after what I want and really get it, really succeed in it, I gotta really commit to it and really want it as bad as I breathe. I can't play no games. I can't play around with it. I gotta want it and I gotta go hard behind it. The littlest bit of slack is gonna throw me off, gonna put me down, especially somebody like me. I knew once I committed to this, I could not back down from it because I know that I get mentally stuck. I get into mental falls and mental funks, and you know, my mind is my own worst enemy when it comes to, you know, my life. So it was like, I know that I gotta be all in. I gotta be committed to changing the way I think about myself in my life. I gotta be committed to, you know, the dreams I'm going after. I gotta be committed to a healthy lifestyle. You know, it ain't gonna happen if I don't want it that bad. And me wanting it bad is me being committed, staying down and doing the work, toiling after it faithfully. You know, not stopping, not playing around with it. You have to be prepared for losses and how to handle grief. Just because somebody ain't physically gone from this world don't mean you can't grieve a loss. Grief don't just mean when somebody leaves. You still grieve when people leave and they not physically gone. You still feel that loss. No matter if that's somebody you've been rocking with as far as, you know, your relationships or whatever, a family, a friend, you know, you're growing as an individual. People are going to see that. Especially the people that are always around you. And, you know, that think they know you, or some might know you depending on how deep a relationship y'all got. But when they see you start to change, they see it. They're going to see it. They're going to notice it. So you got to realize as an individual, either we're going to grow together as partners, as friends, as family members, or we're going to grow apart. We're going to be out of each other's lives. It's going to be a loss. We're going to lose each other on the way. We're going to lose certain people on the way. You got to be prepared for that. And it's hard. I ain't going to lie. I am trying to make this a little fast. It's going to be hard taking that loss, especially when, friends been around forever. They might look at you like you the fake one, like you the unloyal one, like you ain't always been there. That's how they gonna look at you. But you gotta realize who you doing it for. Whether that be yourself, your family that you creating, whoever, whatever it look like for you. If it's for a good reason, if it's beneficial to your life, and you trying to make a change, when you moving forward from relationships, from your friends, from your family, either they get right or they get left. Either they learn from you and try to pick up on it and, try to change themselves. Like, hey, what you got going on? I'm trying to, move like you. Or either y'all they gonna be here and you gonna be moving up. Either way it go, you gotta put you first, especially when it comes to, growing and changing. And you gotta be prepared for that hurt that you're gonna feel behind that loss, because most of the time a lot of people gonna make you feel like it's your fault, like you did all the wrong, like they ain't never did nothing, like you weren't never there. But you can't help that you growing and they're not. You can't help that. You can't help you on a different phase than they are, a different level. And you can't help that they ain't trying to make it there with you. They ain't trying to come up with you. You can't help that they want to stay the same. But when you see your bigger picture, when you know what you got to do and you know where you're going and it's stamped and it's locked in and you locked in, if they don't want it as bad as you cannot want it for them. You cannot want greatness for somebody else. They got to want it for themselves. They got to want it for themselves. So, and that's something that I'm learning right here, and that's why I put it right here lately. That's something I'm learning right now, is that, I can't want nothing for nobody else, man. I'm just doing what I'm doing. And if you catch on and you want to tag along, let's get it. If you don't, and you thinking, oh, that's bull, I'm going to stay where I'm at. I don't want to change. I like being the way I am. I am the way I am. I ain't never going to change. That's just who I am. Hey, look, listen. Be who you are, but you cannot come around me. I'm not coming around you. Because once I notice that I'm just not there no more, you probably won't even see me again, because I don't got time. I don't got time, because every time you come around, it ain't going to be, well, we ain't going to have nothing to talk about. It's going to be awkward, energy off. Ain't no need. We don't, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but we just don't do that no more. We just don't relate, and that's okay. It's never no bad blood. Because when it comes to me, it hurts when I gotta grieve over a loss. When it comes to somebody I really messed with, or a family member, or a friend, because when it comes to me, I love anybody that's around me, surrounded by me, support system, friends. I genuinely love people. Even if you don't hear from me every day, if you call me and you need a favor and I can do it, if you feel me, I'ma do it. You need somewhere to lay your head, anything, whatever. If I got it, I'ma do it. But it won't be what it used to be, because and I can't want it for you. I can't want that for you. You gotta want it for yourself. You gotta want it as bad as you breathe for yourself, because I already got something that I want as bad as I breathe, so I can't want what I want and what you want, because what we want don't look the same. But at the end of the day, I want you to be great. I want you to be better. As a partner, as a friend, as a family member, I want you to be better. But if that ain't what you want, I can't. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And that's facts. I can't make nobody do what they don't want to do. I could just wish you the best. I just hate it because, I feel like I know I'm on the right path. So I just hate it for the people that, just look at me like I'm crazy because, hey. So, you just gotta and I'm learning that you just gotta be prepared for taking them L's when it comes to the people in your life. Don't be surprised when you start losing people. But that tells you a lot. They not meant to reach the levels you meant to reach. They not meant to go with you. But most people will be back though. Because they always watching. And they always looking. So when they see you make it happen, it'll never be, with me, it'll never be I told you so. Because, if I experience you, if you family, a friend, if I got it, I'm just that person. Like, if you need something, I'm going to help. But it'll never be I told you so. Like if you come to me like, yo, how you do this? I'm gonna give you the game, But I'm gonna tell you how I did what I did. But I'm never on no, begging somebody to do right, do better, want better. You gotta want that. You gotta want that for yourself. If I lose somebody, I just like, hey. Like I said, they'll be back. And it ain't no ha-ha type stuff, because I'm going to help out. But, just know people going to see the whole time. Perspective. You have to have an open mind and be accepting of all ways of life. There's a lot going on in this world, but you can't be judgmental. You just pray for it. You gotta open your eyes and open your mind. Be open to learning anything, understanding people, receiving. Cause ain't nobody perfect. Who are you as an individual to judge somebody else? A lot of us was already born into sin. It was meant for us to keep sinning. It was meant for us to keep messing up, doing wrong. It was meant for us to kill each other, hurt each other. It was meant for us to stay down and not rise up in financial aspects. It was meant for us to work for other people continuously. We've been slaves, working for other people for generations. It was meant for us to stay right where we are. But the moment you realize that you're free and that you can free other people and make sure the family that you create is free from all of that, your life get better. It get different. It really do. It really do. It's all about how you see stuff. You can't be closed-minded, small-minded. You gotta know that it's more out there for you, no matter how old you are. It's a whole world out here. And you can't just be closed off to everything, have an open mind. One thing about me, especially when it comes to religion, one thing about me is that I feel like, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna talk about astrology because I got an astrology book and I'm learning about the stars and the signs. I love it. And one thing I know about that is that when it comes to that, and even it kind of says it in the book, it's not something that you want to base your life off of, because people are actually still doing research and finding new stuff out every day. So one thing about me when it comes to stuff like that, or just anything, in my open mind, is that I feel like God gave us all types of things to learn in this world. Don't ever limit yourself to learning. Don't limit yourself to what you feed your mind. Be careful, but don't limit. Be careful on the way you feed it, or some things, But as far as like widening your point of view on this world and life in general, and really learning and educating yourself on all types of things, gaining more wisdom, I feel like God wants us to do that. What he doesn't want us to do, and I'm going back to astrology, is to be praising the sun, the moon, and stars, because that's what they used to do. They used to pray to the sun and moon and stars, and they used to give offerings and call the sun, the moon, the stars, and everything else God, when there's only one creator. So it's like you gotta be able to have an open mind. Don't just throw stuff away because you're not used. This world is evolving and growing every day. Oh, we ain't used to do that. And open your mind to the different possibilities in life. It's signs and miracles everywhere. It just made me think, like, a lot of people do, give astrology and a lot of stuff the thumbs down, but just go educate yourself and learn about it. Because it's there for a reason. It's put in books for a reason. It's good to be able to have those types of discussions, to really dig deep. To know, the more that you know, the more you realize you don't know nothing. Because you ain't know it at first till you read a book, or you get information about it. Regardless of if you feel it's true or not, you get to make your own opinion. But don't limit yourself to the things that you go out here and learn. Have an open mind, and know that people have different views, different perspectives as you. I know in my philosophy class, he was saying that it's good to hear other people's opinions, regardless of if you think they're right or not. It's good to know what they think, It's good to know what other people think about stuff. You don't have to shut it down or be rude about, oh, that ain't right, you wrong, that ain't, no. Be open-minded to what people are saying. You don't even have to argue back. You can agree to disagree, or you don't even have to agree to disagree. You don't have to do anything but have a conversation. You never know. They might change your mind, you might change theirs. So just have an open mind when it comes to, everything. Don't limit your mind. The number one rule is love. I bet you go through a lot of religions and you read through all that stuff, and I bet you the one thing that they really, really want you to do is love and show love. Good, be a good person. Even though I feel like, I'm not for sure, I don't really want to speak on it, but a lot of different religions might have their own version of what good is. But that be the basis, love and goodness, light. I also learned that just being is important. Just being you and living your life how you see fit. So, like, do what makes you happy. That's what I learned. Do what makes me happy. Like, just be who you are. Just live, be in the present, be happy. Like Mary J. Blige said, be happy. And y'all don't have to write so many things or, whatever, how y'all do it. I don't know. But I just had a couple of things. I was just sitting and stuff was just coming to me. So I'm just writing it out. Be happy, live your life. That's really the most, be free. That's the most important thing that I've learned. Be free. Live your life freely of what other people think, of what this world got going on. Because I only get one, and I never know the day nor the time. So all I can do is choose to be happy and choose to love on my people and everybody else, choosing to give, pour into others, using my experiences to light the way, because that's all I can do. That's my purpose, is to keep working hard to build the life that I want, and the life that I desire, and the life that I want to give my own kids, So I was in a car today. I had took the Uber to school, and we was just talking. He was just talking to me, and he was just telling me how God is real, basically. And I was like, you're right. He was kind of basically telling me about a near-death experience. And he was telling me the story, and then he was telling me how people say God ain't real, but he was like, God is real, And I don't know. Now that I'm repeating it, I feel like, I needed to hear that. But he was just telling me, like, after that, now he was like, I don't worry about nothing. I don't live my life with worries. He was like, me and my wife just had a situation with their washing machine. It flooded or whatever, and she was basically bugging out, and he was like, it's all right. We got insurance on it. We not gonna trip. Let it happen. He was like, you can't worry about the little stuff. You can't worry. And I'm like, you are right, And I feel like I need that conversation. I had felt that way when we was driving, because me, honestly, I don't know you, sir. You don't know me. I'm gonna keep it high. Like, I'm just trying to get to school. You know what I'm saying? But he kept talking to me, so I did give him, that conversation. And I'm glad I did, because he held a good conversation with me, very polite conversation. And again, the one thing that stuck out to me was like, he was telling me about the near-death experience, and he was like, God is real. And he was saying after that, he tried not to sweat the little stuff. And I'm like, you right. You can't worry. You can't let it affect you, get to you. And that's really one of the things that I've learned, because I was agreeing with him when he started talking about the washing machine and you can't worry about little things, because that's what I've learned thus far. Because I'm a worrier. I am a worrier. Like, I'm a worry wart. Like, I will worry myself to death when I got a problem that I need to solve and I don't know how I'm going to solve it. I'll stress myself out. And so that's facts. You cannot worry. Let it be. Just live your life. Something happened. Just like the other day, y'all, I was in my room. I tend to leave, because our water is included in our rent. So I tend to leave the water running. I like to go ahead and get it hot, walk away, come back. The other day, I had a bowl in the sink, but I didn't know it was stopping up the sink. And so by the time I got back in here, water had started going out the sink. And usually my old self would be so like ticked off with myself, because like, why would you do something like that? But I just laughed. Like, I was so weak. Like, what's wrong with you? So you just gotta be happy. That's all. And last but not least, controlling your emotions. Controlling your emotions. Knowing how to balance your emotions out with being logical thinking. Instead of moving off emotions, like, when you get mad, you snap, or when you get sad and sensitive, you start being sad and sensitive. For example, like, if I get sad and sensitive, I'm gonna say some sad and sensitive stuff. Like, that's my first thing, to be like heavily in my feelings, instead of just being logical about it and really thinking about it and feeling the feelings and letting it fly. Instead, I sit in the feelings and be angry for a good 10, 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? No. Learn how to control your emotions. That's the best thing you could ever do. I'm telling you. That was the number one thing that I saw me do and stick to. And it's been very, very beneficial. I'm not even gonna lie. Very beneficial. Control your emotions. I used to move off my emotions heavily. I had to cut it out, because, it make you do stuff impulsively. It's like me. Now, me and mama ain't always been best friends. We cool, like, but we couldn't get along. So, my very first thing was move out. So, I went to college, I'm in the dorms. But when I'm there, I ain't really like none of that. So I'm like, go ahead to the real world, And I was kind of moving off my emotions to how I was feeling, instead of being logical, like, if I do this, I'll be able to, Instead of thinking years ahead, I was thinking right there in the moment of how I'm feeling. I can't do this, I'm out. Getting mad, snapping quick, messing up, good times, or, not being able to properly communicate and making stuff way worse than what it is, because I can't control my anger, my temper. So moving off emotions has never really helped me at all in life. Being able to be an emotional person, but also being a logical person, and being able to make decisions based off, seeing how you feel, but also using your brain and thinking before you make that decision. Key. It's key. So if you notice you're a person that move off emotions, like solely your emotions, and that's not the way to be. Cause you're gonna be real impulsive. As soon as something hurt or as soon as you ain't feeling it, you quick to react. Take time to feel it, but take time to think too, and really think about your next move before you make it. When you move off emotions, you don't really think too much. You move based off how you feeling, and that ain't it, because it'll get you messed up. Trust me, I know. Conversational piece number 2. Name 2 things that you have been able to learn about yourself, one negative and one positive thing. How have you worked on both after making the realization? So to learn means to come to realize, to come to know. Know yourself. So one thing I learned about myself that's positive on this journey, that's what I meant to say as well in the question, on the journey wise, healing and, growing. I've learned that I am a beautiful soul, that I am worthy of everything that I've ever wanted. So like I was kind of saying yesterday on, knowing your worth, nobody has ever really told me my worth growing up. So I've learned on this journey that I am worthy, very much worthy of everything that I've ever desired, everything I've ever wanted. Down to my husband and my kids, everything that I've ever imagined, ever wanted, good for myself, I deserve that, And I gotta realize that, again, not everybody's gonna see that, but that's cool. So what I'm learning is to be patient until I get that, till I get what is worthy of me, because I am worthy, and I have a beautiful presence, a beautiful soul, That's how I see myself. So that's another reason why I go so hard, and try to change my life around, because, I know I deserve a lot, and I'm going after it, and I'm going to go get it. And then learning that about myself has also allowed me to gain a lot more self-love, like knowing what self-love is, and, pouring into myself and loving myself more. So that's been great. That's something that, that's positive that I've learned and, am continuing to work on. So the one negative thing is that I have a hard time letting go. I've always kind of knew that, but it's really very, very pointing out like a sore thumb on this journey. Like, dang, like this is really real. I don't like starting over, and I kind of have this attitude where I want what I want. Like, why can't I have it? But I realize that I'm only holding myself hostage, and I'm only hurting myself. Especially when I know that, it's not good for me. Or, sometimes you have to let stuff go in order for it to do what it do. And it may come back, it may not. You might get that opportunity again, you may not. But if you keep worrying about it, you keep focusing on it, keep dwelling on it, you're going to be stuck right where you are instead of moving forward, because your mind is stuck on trying to hold on to something or trying to fix something. But it's time to let it go. And truthfully, some of us know when it's time to let go. We just continue to choose to not to, because we feel like, it's going to get better. It's going to work out. I can fix this. But really, you can't. Some things you have to let go of. So how I'm working on it is just like day by day, just, when I realize that I'm kind of stuck on a situation, I just try to take it day by day to get through it. That's all you can do, especially when you're like me. Real tight, but when you realize it, when you realize the problem, try your best to work on it, especially when it's something negative, when it's not good. So for me, I just try to take it day by day. out of sight, out of mind, you know, just working on what's in front of me and focusing on what I have going on. You know, it's easier to let things go when you put the focus back on you. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have had a beautiful Tuesday. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay beautiful. Be patient, be kind, be humble, be gentle. Show compassion. You are love. Love is within you. So show love. Shine your light. You are light. You never know who's looking at you, who's looking up to you. So be good, be a light. Stay true to who you are. Be who you are. Can't be anybody else, and can't anybody be you. There's only one you. I love you guys from my heart to yours.